What if I told you this tiny $2 roll of tape could save you from a career-ending production mistake?
I am never going to financially recover from this.
It sounds dramatic, but it's one of the biggest mistakes that I see DITs make on set, and the consequences of not doing this could wipe out irreplaceable footage as well as your career. What's up, guys? I'm Jeff, a DIT nerd and your on-set production wingman, and today I'm sharing this #1 tip I use to avoid chaos on set. If you're already using red tapes in your workflow, then please accept my digital high five.
High five.
And stick around to the end where I reveal a hack that I use to track cards before they even show up at my station. 60% of data loss in production comes from workflow mistakes, not equipment failure. So even having the fanciest gear and fastest hard drives won't prevent a simple human error. The reality for a DIT is stark. One tiny slip-up can be catastrophic. You could lose the shock, the one that cost a fortune to set up, or the one that has an actor's once-in-a-lifetime performance. 3 seconds to format, potentially years to recover your reputation, if ever. So my #1 tip to avoid this nightmare is this humble $2 roll of Gaffer's tape. Yeah, I know, it seems almost too simple, but trust me, it's an industry standard for a reason, and it has saved me countless times. All right, let me show you how I use this on all my jobs. The first thing I like to do is communicate. Before filming starts, I sync up with the camera department, whether the first or second AC or the camera operators, and we agree on the system we're gonna put in place. Sometimes they'll tape the cards before handing them off to me, and sometimes I'll supply the tape. The crucial part is clear communication, so everybody knows what system is in place and to be consistent throughout the shoot. When a card comes out of the camera full of footage, it gets red tape. If the card has a case, I prefer placing the tape visibly over the pin side, and this visually screams out that the card is hot, it has footage, and not to format. Pro tip, avoid covering the pins of raw memory cards. The tape can sometimes leave a sticky residue on the pins, or can actually physically damage the card. All the cards that are hot or red taped go into a designated hot bin or case. I like to mark my case with the same red tape so I know that anything that gets dropped in there is hot. I then use a left to right workflow and back up the cards using the 3-2-1 backup principle I teach in all my courses. I pick out a card with red tape or multiple cards if I have multiple readers. I'll place the card into the reader. I'll then place red tape over the card or next to the card reader to keep track of each card. I perform the offload using checksum software, and then I log the card digitally on my log sheet. I visually inspect the card contents, run a report, and check the log file. After that, I remove the red tape and place the card in my cleared bin that I have with green tape. Green tape usually means safe or that it's clear to format. Whether your production has 5 cards or 50, the system is simple, visual, and instantly tells you the status of each card. This workflow was an absolute lifesaver recently when I did a job as a DIT at the Rogue Invitational out in Scotland. Imagine 5 days of chaotic live competitions, dozens of cameras, broadcast trucks, a team of editors working on site, a thirsty social media team needing footage instantly, and some truly questionable haggis. With media flying everywhere, having the instant red-green visual cue was non-negotiable and helped us through the project. Another handy hack I did on this shoot was using these nifty Pelican cases with Apple AirTags attached. And with how complex the filming setup was, they actually had a runner go and collect cards from all the cameras during the event. And having these AirTag cases allowed us to track the card's location in real time and avoid the dreaded habit of someone putting a hot card in a lint-filled pants pocket. That's it. That's my #1 tip for avoiding on-set chaos, a $2 roll of Gaffer's tape. Use this tip on your next project, big or small, and don't jeopardize your shoot or your career. I guarantee you'll sleep better knowing you've eliminated the single most common catastrophic error a DIT can make. If you're interested in learning more or mastering the craft of being a DIT, check out our certified online courses and custom-built apps for DITs, that show field-tested tips and tricks. It's the training I wish I had when I first started, and will level you up to get more jobs, get paid fairly, and enhance your career in production and post-production.